Welcome Capricorn to your monthly horoscope for June for the Sun or the Ascendant. If you've yet to subscribe to my channel, I'd be honoured if you did so now. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. You can also chat with me direct on Twitter at Horoscope Ace, or if you'd like to get your free daily horoscope to your email or your free astrology magazine monthly, please see the links beneath this video. We continue to be in a very tender moment for planet Earth and all of us on it. And of course there are different scenarios playing out dependent on where in the world people are. So I'm going to try to encapsulate all these in this forecast. But as this month begins, the Sun is combining with Venus in the part of your horoscope that's to do with practicalities. So if you are remodeling your home space somehow, perhaps painting or decorating, or you're busy with some crafting, it wouldn't really be a surprise. But Venus is in a retrograde, so it's possible that you may be thinking about your work in a slightly different way. Perhaps if you're not working due to having been stood down because of COVID-19, it could be opening your mind to other creative talents that you have. Now, for the first 18 days of this month, Mars and Neptune in your sector of everyday communications are tightly bound together. This can boost your imagination, but it can also distort a little bit some of your practical output that's going to come through the Sun in the sign of Gemini, because there's a right angle. And there's also an annular lunar eclipse on the 5th in a very gentle part of your situation. So if you are thinking about the balance between your physical and more emotional well-being, this can be a particularly important time. And with Mars and Neptune linking into this eclipse, I think it's possible there can be quite a lot of communication, perhaps even some fact-finding. But with them both in a right angle to the Sun, also there is the potential for some distortion or some tension. And one of the things you want to avoid, certainly at the start of this month, is trying to pour so much energy into so many different things that you end up feeling a little bit exhausted or stressed out. So it is going to be key to prioritize. Wonderfully, Uranus in your sector of real creativity and self-expression links superbly to Mercury in your sector of relationships. And there could be one connection that you're enjoying that does seem to spark you, really gives you a sense of enthusiasm. You may be sharing ideas for fun, or perhaps there is a business idea you're developing that's much more innovative. But this month doesn't just see Venus in retrograde as the month begins. Also Pluto and Jupiter in your sign are still in backward motion, and they're going to come together in an exact conjunction from the 22nd. So something about your personal identity or being, or to do with a plan or project or strand which means a great deal to you, can come to a critical point towards the end of this month, and you may have some key decisions to make. Now Mercury is also going to go into retrograde from the 18th, and as you know, Mercury retrograde can cause mix-ups, muddles and misunderstandings. But it also can be an opportunity to rethink an area that's not worked so well. And if there is a relationship scenario that you're not sure of, through to the 12th of July, this gives you plenty of food for thought to really examine exactly what it is you want, you're prepared to give, but also what you expect. Now on the 20th, the Sun moves into your opposite sign. Generally, this can be very good to be more combative, to be more competitive, but also be conscious of those relationships. But then we have a solar eclipse on the 21st, which links in a quincunx to your ruler Saturn, which is in your sector of resources. And if you are finding you're having to just count the pennies or the cents a little more carefully this month, really with COVID, that would hardly be a surprise. But this is something deeper. This is something more linked to what you want to manifest right at the heart of your being. So if you've been doing a job or a role for some time, maybe even years, where yes, it has been a means to an end, but it's starving you of passion, I feel that this solar eclipse is really going to be very interesting for you, because it also goes into opposition with the solar eclipse which occurred last December by about 3 degrees. So there's a pivot, an axis. So whatever happened just before Christmas last year can kind of be repeated now, but if you like, the concave version of it, the mirror image. Think back to then and you'll get a clue. But because of the link to Saturn, whatever you're thinking about around a relationship or expressing an idea or what you do for a living, it needs to be tempered by the practicality of it, which is very Capricornian. You understand this better than virtually any sign. But perhaps also there could be a sense of then being penned in because your options are limited, perhaps because of the current crisis partly, which restricts our freedom to do as we wish as individuals. Perhaps it's something within you that you need to unlock the solution to. Now, once Jupiter and Pluto come together exactly from the 22nd, it's almost as if something's going to shift, but it might not only be with your, if you like, conscious doing. It could be that circumstances change around you, perhaps in some ways not in a way that you would have immediately chosen, not because you can't see the direction of travel makes sense. It could be more of a kind of control thing versus the sense of security we all need. But if that happens, try to flow with it, because Venus ends its retrograde on the 25th, which is going to help you to become a little clearer about your work options. It is still going to be enshadowed pretty well to the end of July, so it's still got an option for things to evolve. But what I would say is that Mars's move on the 28th of this month into your 4th house, that's truly critical, because it's going to be there right through to the 6th of January next year. And really, if there is something right at the heart of your world, whether it's to do with where you live, who you live with, how you live with them, that isn't working quite as well as you would like, or there's something around your family dynamics that does need some revisions, you're going to find yourself being much feistier in order to assert what you want from the situation. So to recap, this month can be a lot about practicalities, but don't try to do too much. Prioritize. Yes, relationships are going to come sharply into focus, but you also need to travel back to what's absolutely right for you, whether it's about work, whether it's about an involvement, whether it's about your creative output, whether it's about the bigger picture in your life. Bring it back to what really moves you. If something isn't moving you, it does need reviewing. If you'd like to have a one-to-one with me, why not check out my testimonials beneath this video? Or if you're pretty new to astrology and you'd like to embrace real astrology beyond just your zodiac sign, check out my special offer beneath this video, where you can get your reports, which are very inexpensive but very, very good, which can give you a huge welter of information to unlock your true potential. But for now, stay safe, take care, and good luck.